If you've been thinking about wanting to start a podcast but not sure where to get started, I have some news for you. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hi gang, Donnie here. Today's guest is recording artist Moustafa. We'll be discussing his latest release, Self-Love. While we talk about his inspiration for his latest release, his Better 2 moment takes us back to 2018 when a popular artist did a collaboration on his track Not Okay without permission of Moustafa. While the song is searchable, it is no longer available. And the whole encounter left Moustafa feeling attacked. Welcome to the show, Moustafa. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. I would like to know exactly what happened. So walk us through this. Take us back to 2018. You're starting your vocal career, correct?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, back then I only released a small EP that was called Blood Kiss. Anyway, it got shut down because we took it down. The team didn't like it anymore. But it was a good start for me as exploring the business industry for the music and everything. And suddenly I got an email after some promotion on that EP.
You had this collaboration that is presented to you.
Yes, I got that collaboration that was presented to me by someone. And I'm not sure if that someone sent it to me or their team is the one that sent it to me. But I was so excited and I was like, this is my shot. I got to take it and I got to do it. And I got the plan to do it. I did it in like 2 days recording and everything, and I sent it back. And I was waiting for any updates. There was nothing, no updates, no anything. And I was so nervous. I thought that it got canceled. But then I checked it out and I felt that it's about to be released and I have no plan, no idea, nothing. I was feeling like on the shelf, like they say. And I felt humiliated. Like, this is not how music works. We gotta be connected. We gotta feel it. We gotta work together and know what we're gonna release, what we're gonna do. So that wasn't professional at all. And I felt like not the artist that I was before.
Did they send, when they sent you the proposal to do this, did they send you a contract or anything?
Nope.
Okay, so you're not even sure that this directly who it came from, and that's good. That's fine. That's understandable.
Yeah.
So did the track ended up getting released?
Yes, and even on the major official websites, and that was like, wow, this is crazy. I don't care anymore about that. I didn't have any heads up or anything, but as long as this is officially, I'm excited for it, and this will be a good shot for me. But then I found out people calling me out names and fake and stuff, and some people started to follow me just to hate on me and to send me DMs that, what the hell did you do and why did you do this and stuff. And I was feeling attacked. I didn't even respond to anyone because I felt so depressed about the moment and everything. And then the track was like 1 week later and it shut down. And I was like, what just happened? Like, seriously?
So basically, people were dissing you because you collaborated with this person.
Yes, because they also didn't like the process of the music and they didn't like the lyrics. They didn't like the song at all.
So they felt in a way that you were stepping away from your truth of who you are as an artist and conforming to what the other person was.
Well, most of them were this person's fan base. They wasn't my fan base
Understand?
because I didn't have that much of a fan base by then.
Understand. I mean, that happens sometimes. Fans expect a certain thing, and when something doesn't necessarily meet their expectations, then they lash out.
Yeah.
It's happened to many people. So the song gets taken down and you kind of feel, I would say, depressed about this, correct? So what happens after what do you do after that? I mean, did you reach out and say what happened, or did they give you any explanation?
Well, after that, I continued working on my music in my room. Like, let's pretend this didn't happen, and I was like, I'm gonna continue working harder and harder until I make it for real this time. And whatever happened, I don't know what that happened and why did it happen, but I don't know. I thought about that. They might have been trying to like test me or something, and they didn't get the results they needed. But I don't know. I seriously, until now, I don't know what happened. And even the people stopped DMing me and stuff. So that's what most important to me at the moment.
I mean, the one thing you got to consider too is when you put yourself out there, you open yourself up to that backlash whether you want to or not. I mean, it when you put yourself in that public life, even as a singer, even if you take away the collaboration, there's still eventually with your success the eventuality of people being haters.
Exactly. Yeah. Haters are gonna hate always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and let's look at Britney Spears for example, because she was up on a high pedestal, and when she
Yeah.
started not being able to handle it necessarily, they tore at her. And now, of course, everybody's got the Free Britney movement and everything, but the fact is, she was so under stressed that they attacked and lashed out and made fun of her to tear her down. Are you having gone through this experience, do you find that most likely if you were to gain success and notoriety, that you could handle it better?
Exactly. Yes. Like when people did the hashtag Free Britney, I was like, I asked myself, what was that? And when I checked the whole story, I felt so emotional and so inspired by what happened and everything. And that was like, people on social media have the permission to say what they want whenever they want, which sometimes is a disaster. Because like people suicide because of that, and people have depression because of that. And I don't like, sometimes I read comments from famous people's Instagram posts, and I feel like, do people think before they post that comment? How do they just post it? Like how? I don't
I
know.
I had a person on TikTok comment not about my content, but about my eyebrows and what color eyebrow pencil I should use. And I'm like, because it would look more natural. And my response back to them was, "These are my natural eyebrows." Sorry. I mean, it's just because you have the ability to comment on something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah,
And I mean, I don't think they realize how bad they can hurt somebody, and they feel empowered by stating their opinion. But you're a person, and I'm sure some of the comments got nasty because once again, we're talking about fans that are really fans, and if they don't consider that you are a person and you have feelings, so
exactly.
how how bad did this take you down?
Well, to be honest, it took me down like about 1 month. I was so concerned about what happened, and I kept thinking, and I felt like, is that the end of my career? Like I wanted to make a music career, and I started 1 year ago, and I was like, is this the end? Like they tried to test me and I didn't give them the results they needed, so they shut it down and they just shut the door on my face. Am I gonna get any other opportunity after what happened and stuff? But like I said, whatever, I'm gonna keep going and I'm not gonna let this stop me, even if I'm gonna be independent for the rest of my whole life. Anyway, I do what I love, which is music. And even if I have 10 followers or 10 people who really listens to my music, I'm gonna keep doing it.
How do you feel now that his notoriety continues to rise and this collaboration didn't work out?
Well, to be honest, I'm starting to listen to this kind of music lately, his kind of music,
Hmm.
and I'm I'm getting inspired
Okay.
because like I do what I love. I don't care about the drama or anything because I'm not sure if that was really the person or the team behind it or record labels or I don't know because there's a lot of sides to the story that until now I don't have no idea about it.
Right. Well, I mean,
So yeah.
there's a lot of things in the industry that you don't necessarily know, and one thing I would say to you is if this is presented again, make sure you get a contract. Make sure that
Yeah,
you have a contract to know that you're protected. You know,
exactly.
a lot of young artists think, okay, I'm going to be in a band and I'm going to take over the world and I'm going to do this, but and the music industry has changed a lot since I dabbled.
Yeah,
But the fact of the matter is, you need to make sure you're protected.
exactly. Like I've been in the music industry. I've been in it like for 4 years and a half,
Hmm.
and it's actually pretty because you learn every year. You learn a lot of new stuff, and at the moment, I know that I gotta sign something to have my rights,
Hmm.
so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
So to be honest, that situation really helped me learn a lesson back then.
I had a situation with that I can't really say a lot about, but I had a situation with a publicist, and I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement when I signed up with her, and it was an experience that did not work out the best way, and but in the ultimate picture, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot of things that I needed to know about the publishing world. So,
Yeah.
if you can look at what you went through and make it a positive, then it's a blessing.
Exactly, because like we gotta keep going. If we stop, then what's the meaning of life? Like my life, I love music so much. It's something deep inside me. Like I feel like when I feel depressed or so happy, I go to music. This is my go-to. Feeling like away from everybody in front of my mic, recording and listening to what I'm doing, being creative. It's seriously a whole other level.
What made you decide to become a singer?
Well, first I started listening to music and then I felt like I love this thing and it started to be like, something that I can't go without.
Hmm.
Then I started just making melodies in my head and stuff, and my family wasn't that supportive about it, but my friends were like, go for it. It's cool. You get better and stuff. And I started learning and practicing and stuff. And it took me about, like, I've been singing since 10 years. Wow. So,
time
yeah, it was a long road.
time flies. I mean, when you start a project, you don't necessarily realize how long it's been that you've been working on it, especially when
Mhm.
it's creative. So, what is your creative process like
Well,
when it
first of
comes to
all,
song? I was
yeah,
gonna,
first of all, you go.
I was gonna say about your songwriting. What does your creative process look like in your songwriting?
Well, in my songwriting, I usually go for life experiences. Like, I have a lot of crazy moments in my life and stuff that I go through. Usually, they are kind of heartbreak because my first album was My Broken Heart. It was called after that title. And the thing is that I didn't want it to be that sad, that dark and stuff. So I included some music in it, which is some electro to hype people up so they don't listen to the whole thing as a sad moment,
Uh huh.
sad vibes. Because sad moments are having their moments and happy moments have their moments. So not everyone is sad, gonna listen to it. So I gotta include a mix. So what I do basically is sometimes when I write a sad song, I ask my producer to make a happy beat
Okay.
that goes with the sad lyrics.
Okay.
So I have a mix between happy and sad, so people, whenever they feel both ways, they listen to it and they enjoy it.
Makes sense. Makes sense a lot.
Yeah.
You released two singles back in 2018. How did your style differ on compared to your current music?
Oh, that has been a lot of change. Seriously, even my style in singing. Um, I was just telling you about we learn from our mistakes,
Yeah.
and this is part of the process. To be honest, like when I don't even listen to my old music anymore
Okay.
because that was an old taste for me. Right now, I listen to new type of music, electro, pop dance, and R&B, a lot of R&B and rock.
Hmm.
So that's a lot different than what I used to do and what I used to be.
Do your have your fans embraced your new music, or are they reticent of like, I'm not sure about this? Have they? Have you gotten positive feedback about the new stuff?
Some people like change, they love the change, and some other people they don't,
Hmm.
but they still appreciate me as an artist, which feels great, and I feel like a lot of support, even if one of the followers go to my DM and say, this new style doesn't fit you, but I still love you. I think if you did that, it will be better. And I take this feedback as the most kind of feedbacks ever.
Okay. Um, how would you describe your latest release?
Well, my latest release as the Self Love album or the Fallen Angels solo.
The self love album. I mean, how would you describe that? What was the inspiration behind it? I mean, you've obviously had the broken heart initially when you first released. Now you're talking about self love, so this has to be about self care, correct?
Exactly, yes.
So, what possessed you to say, okay, I'm going to write this record about self love?
Well, at first, I was working on that album for like a year.
Hmm.
That was the longest I've ever worked on. And I released the first single out of it. It was just a single. I didn't even work on the other songs. But then I started working on Get Lit, which
Okay.
was a whole different vibe from the first single release, which was Save Me. And I felt like, okay, this is going to be an album. I think I'm going to keep going until we see where this is going to be. I kept working and I didn't have self love in mind, to be honest. But
Okay.
then when I gathered the whole songs together and the package and I started thinking, I said to myself, this is all about self love. Like it has a story, but it focuses on self love at the end and caring and stuff and some positivity in the end of the track list, which is beautiful. So I said, let's release this. Let's make this self love.
Okay. What was the inspiration for Looseless?
Oh, I had a breakup
Okay.
during the whole pandemic of COVID and everything, and it was so hard because basically it was because of the what was going on. Like we don't have work, no job, no money, no hanging out, nothing, and we were in different places, and we needed to be close. I'm kind of needy. Like in a relationship, I
Uh huh.
need the person that I'm with to be next to me.
Go
So
ahead.
yeah.
I was gonna say, and COVID definitely kept you away from the other person.
Exactly. Because, like, it's COVID. You don't get someone to be next to you.
No, no, not unless they're in your same house or apartment. Other than that, no.
Yeah.
You released two albums in 2019, "Photo" and "My Broken Heart," and was the delay of your self love record because of COVID?
To be honest, no. COVID didn't stop me from making music because, like, I do music from my home and my producer is already in other countries. So we work through Gmail and stuff, which is perfectly fine.
Okay, so you just decided to not release anything in 2020 then?
Yeah,
Okay.
kinda. I felt like people wouldn't feel like it's okay to listen to an album during what's happening. Like, people were dying and stuff, and I didn't want to feel harsh or anything. Like, you would never listen to an album when there is a pandemic going on and you lose people you love, which is very hard. So I felt like I should, as long as the album is about self-love and self-care, so let's release it after what's going on.
Okay, makes sense. Makes total
Yeah.
sense. I saw a video on your Facebook page talking about sobriety. And I know in the music business in general, substance abuse, including alcohol, can be prevalent. So,
Mhm.
since you're based in Egypt, I'm not quite sure if you guys have a lot of clubs like we do, and being younger and enjoying life. Is that why you posted this about sobriety? I mean, were you having too much fun? Were you partying too much and decided I need to get myself in check?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't that much of an alcoholic because you said it yourself, we don't have that much of clubs in Egypt. But I have a group of friends which loves to party, and I love to party as well. And the whole thing was a new thing to us because we said, let's try it together, let's try new things together at once. And some people loved it, some people didn't do it again. um, and we said we're gonna take it as a limit. We're not gonna reach that limit until one of my best friends reached that limit and started to get addicted to it.
Hmm.
And he was one of my best friends. I was so worried about him. I helped him a lot, and I stood next to him, and I felt nervous and worried about what's gonna happen next. So I started taking care of him and also spreading awareness about what's going on. Because, like, at this point, you don't just sit while watching what's going on. Like, that's a best friend. I gotta take care of him.
Yeah.
And I started talking to people that we gotta get sober. We gotta just take it slow. It's not gonna be that one day and then we're sober. No, we're gonna take it step by step, and we're gonna reach the end happy together, alive, and nobody gonna be hurt. That's it.
So the friend were you able to reel the friend back in?
Thank God, right now he doesn't do it that much like he used to. He does it, but in like in weekly basis at the moment. So that's a lot less than what he was doing. I think he will be great. He will get better, I think. I'm
Good.
sure.
So now that this record's come out, or album, how how do you see it doing? I mean, is it doing well? Are you getting a positive response from your fans? How do you think it's doing?
To be honest, Self Love came out with after the corona thing and everything. I had no budget at all. Like everything is messed up at the moment financially and everything. And I didn't have that much money to promote it. But I said, like, since I released it as Self Love, I'm gonna just keep it there. So whatever that happens next with promotion, people could listen to whatever I release and the album, which is gonna be excited for people to understand what I'm going through in music at the moment. So yeah, that's it. That's it about it.
What is going to be your next project, you think? Or when do you
My
think your next?
next my next project is actually talking about everything we talked about basically today. It's going to be some kind of rock vibe. It's a new vibe for me, but it got inspired by the music that I told you about that I'm starting to listen to lately.
Mm-hmm.
And the song name is going to be What You Want From Me. Basically talking about everything we talked about. The industry, the people who just DM you and start to disrespect you for something that you didn't have a big hand in, and everything back then. That's the whole song thing story, and it's also have a music video.
Good.
Yeah,
Do you think that writing this will help you heal from it?
it did. Surprisingly, it did. Because like if I'm not healed from it, I wouldn't be that confident talking about it right now.
Understand. Understand. I mean, you're putting yourself out there by talking about it. So
Yeah.
when is this next release happening?
On the 23rd of July
Okay.
with
So
the music video.
okay.
It's
And
also gonna be as a press release.
okay. So is
So
there going to be a whole album, or is this just going to be one track that's going to drop with the video?
I'm thinking about an EP
Okay.
because like I'm still working on it, and I want to take the time to release everything in its time. And what I mean by its time, when I have the right budget for it, so I release it and people actually listen to it and reach new fan bases and new listeners, new audience. Because at the moment, I feel like I don't have that much of people that listens to me as I used to have before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm
Do you
gonna work
think
hard for it.
do you think that is because of COVID, or do you think it's just because, or the lack of time between releases? I mean, what do you think has caused this?
I think it's because of lack of time between releases. Because like I didn't get that much of time to think about what and how am I going to release that track. I felt like, okay, let's release this. Okay, let's go with this and stuff. But I didn't have that much of a budget, and I still didn't learn the whole strategy for music industry and everything. I kept learning. Like the past 2 months, I've been learning a lot on how to make marketing strategies for what you want from me. Because like this track has to make it because I
Right.
love it.
Well, and I mean, the one thing I know as an author and a podcaster, marketing is not an easy thing because the algorithms constantly change on social media. So you're always trying to work and try to put yourself out there, but you also don't want to oversaturate
Exactly.
and
Yes.
get people going, I don't even want to deal with you anymore. So there's a fine balance. Do you think you found that balance um, before COVID when you were building your audience for your first two releases? Did you have that audience? Did you know how the marketing was working for you?
Nope, at all. I was just sending and spamming and stuff, and I was like ruining it, to be honest.
Okay. Um, so where do you see yourself? I mean, if you had a perfect vision, where would you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, oh my God. In 5 years, I don't know. To be honest, I'm also thinking about making Arabic music for the first time.
Okay.
Because like in Egypt here, they support Arabic music, and I'm thinking about making Arabic music with a twist of the music production in English, which is people started to do here, and I wanna hop on it so fast because that's already my style. And also, English isn't that much supported here because Egypt is an Arabic country, and people love to listen to stuff they understand because not everyone understands English here.
Understand.
And the most English songs they listen to here is the hits, top hits.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I gotta try this. If I didn't make it in the next 5 years in the music industry in English and globally and everything, I'm gonna hop on Arabic.
You know, what you could do is hop on that now and let it help fund your passion.
That's a great plan. Yeah,
Just saying. I mean, if it pays well and you can get your name out there and build a fan base that way, and then open yourself up, you know, you
that would
might
be great. Yeah.
you might be able to launch your career better that way.
Yeah, I also have a production company in Cairo. I live in Alexandria, which is kind of far from Cairo, but not that far. And Cairo is the capital, so they have a lot of companies there, music companies and stuff. And I have a friend of a friend who works there, and I'm thinking about going this summer to go there and just talk with them about the plan of making Arabic music with the production of an English and stuff, and let's see how this is gonna happen.
I think it's worth a shot. I mean, you won't know unless you try, and it might be the most rewarding thing there because you're doing something that is different, and you'll have something to fall back on and create the audience for your passion projects because
Yeah.
somebody might say, wow, this is really cool, let's see what else he does.
Mm-hmm.
So um so let me ask you this, what's it like living in Egypt?
It's good, and sometimes it's hard because like it's good that I have my family and friends who accept me and everything. It's kind of hard because people here are so judgy, you know.
But
They
you want
judge
to
you for
go ahead.
a lot of things.
But see, that's not just limited to there. They judge America, people judge all the time. You walk into a store, people are judging you. So it's not just there. It may seem like it's just there and it may be worse there by certain standards, but it's just as bad here. Trust me.
Well, I understand what you mean, what you're saying, but here, like, there's no human rights that much as it's
Okay.
there for you.
Fair
Human
enough.
rights here are kind of messed up a little bit because they put human rights legally and everything, but when people doesn't do with it, people doesn't go with it at all, and you will never get what you want. Like if I'm wearing, let's say I'm a boy and I'm wearing something a little bit
Feminine?
from another culture,
Okay.
it doesn't need to be feminine. Like,
Okay.
maybe we could say feminine. People would judge you.
Okay.
And they will say that this is bad and God doesn't love you and stuff, and they might even take you to the police.
That is where it, in some aspects, because for some people here in this country, they still have their rights trampled upon. But that is something that would not happen. You're not going to go to the police for something you're wearing here.
Yeah, exactly. So in Egypt, it's hard. It's harder than what's happening on the rest of the world, because like you get judged by anything.
So, does that make you want to? I mean, if you could do anything in the world, if you had worldwide success, would you stay in Egypt or would you decide to move?
Never.
Okay. Fair enough question.
Never. The only thing that might keep me here is my mother. Other than that, I'm leaving.
But if you had enough money, you could take mom with you and it would be, a new start.
She loves Egypt.
Ah.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, then. So, do you play any instrument? Do you play keyboards? I mean, since you're creating this music, what instrument are you using to create
Well,
it?
I play guitar.
Okay.
Then I learned to play keyboard. And there is a fact, I didn't learn drums, but I know how to play them. I don't know how. I just go with the beat.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. As long as you know how to play. And I mean, basically, if you know how to play the keyboard now, you can pretty much put anything together that you need to put together. Drum track.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done any of your music live?
Yes, like about 6 times I went on stage, and it's so nervous, but it's amazing. You know, when you have an experience like, I want to do this, but I'm scared. But then after you do it, you feel like, I want to do it again.
Yeah.
That's the experience.
Was it at a club or was it at just a show? Where did you do it?
First time, it was at a show. I did it in front of 6 judges, and I took it as like a competition, as a challenge between me and myself. Like, I'm gonna sing a hard song for the first time going on the stage. And I sang Chandelier by Sia.
Wow. Okay.
And judges were impressed, and I was so nervous. I felt like I didn't do that good. I ruined it and stuff, but people were like, hey, you were good and stuff. And that took me on another level, and I went to most of the studios here in Alexandria. Like, I sat with producers, from the top producers to the less experienced producers and the writers and stuff. And most of them are supportive, but they be like, I don't know how to help you, because they work on Arabic music most of the times. So that's a little bit of effort from me here to do something special than what everyone is doing around me. So yeah.
So, sometimes when you're up on stage, how do I say this? The people in the audience don't know the flaws unless they're really obvious. And you tend to, you as a performer, and this is from personal experience too, you as a performer realize how bad you screwed something up, but nobody else notices. But you in your head are sitting there going, wow, I could have done this so much better. And they're just like, oh no, that was wonderful. And you're like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think, will there be more opportunities for you coming forward that you'll be able to perform live as, things try to get back to normal?
Hopefully. If that happened, I'll be so in it, and I'll be so excited, because like the last time I went on a stage was October 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't singing. It's a surprise. I was acting.
Okay.
I joined college 2019, and it was my first year and everything. There was that casting with a big producer, and my friends in college were like, go for it. And I said, I'm not an actor, I'm a singer, and I got refused before in a casting, so I don't want to do it again. But they were so supportive about it, and I was like, okay, I'm going for it. Because acting is pretty hard. Like they give you a script,
Yeah.
full script, and they give you like 15 minutes to save it in your mind and get everything clear and ready and go for it. But I felt like I'm in an exam, in a science exam. I was like, what, how, and when should I do that?
Yeah, yeah.
So I went there. The producer didn't like my casting, to be honest, but he liked my style and he loved my voice. So he took me. And I was like, okay, so you're gonna take me for my voice and my style? What are we gonna do with that in an acting show?
Uh-huh.
He was like, we're gonna use that. I'm gonna give you the basics of acting and dancing and even singing in Arabic, and let's get this started. I worked for 5 months before for 6 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
which was so hard, but I loved it, to be honest. Like we were working a whole team. It was so big. And also he surprised us as it's an international show
Nice.
against Korea, Japan, Palestine, and a lot of other countries in Alexandria here.
Mm-hmm.
At a big stage, it was called Bermtunsi on the beach. It's one of the biggest stages for acting, and we got two famous actors came to watch us and they clapped for us and we took one prize, and it was a great experience, to be honest. Like
Nice. So are you going to be doing more acting then too?
I did some casting and I sent it here and there, but like I do it not as I do music because my music is my priority, but acting, if it's here it's okay, if it's not, I don't mind.
Well,
It just
some
happens.
I mean a lot of people that started out in a band ended up being actors and and then they went back to their band. So, I mean, if it's something that you enjoy doing, then do it. If not, then yeah, let it slide. But it's always good to put your name out there.
Exactly. Well, I enjoyed acting so much, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of my time, my normal daytime and my musical time. It takes a lot of time, to be honest. So I don't even have the time to even scratch my hair, as they say. Yeah, I go home, I sleep, and then I wake up next day to go to the prova and everything, and then I go back home and practicing, and it's so hard.
So, you said you entered college. So, what are you studying in college?
Tourism.
Okay. So, what are your hopes to do with the tourism degree?
I want to be a flight attendant
Okay.
because I want to get out of here.
And travel the world, and yeah,
Yeah, and even that might give me a chance of touring.
true, true. And you never know who you might meet.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess. So then, I think we've already covered this, but I'm going to ask anyway. So your moment with the artist that whole collaboration, are you glad it happened? I mean, do you think it was better to have had that happen to you at an early stage in your career as opposed to it happening later?
Back then, I wasn't that much of proud that it happened, but now I am proud that it happened because I learned a lot from the whole situation. Like I gotta have my own rights signed, and I gotta know what's right for me and what's not right for me to do. I gotta make sure that this is real and this is not real. I just you reminded me of something that happened to me last 2 months. I got an email from a big major record label.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna mention the
That's
name or
fine.
anything. um I got it and they were so interested to work with me and everything, and after a lot of reading and a whole lot of reading, and I even contacted a lawyer and everything, but then he told me that there is something off about this. I checked it out. I even DM'd most of the artists in this major record label to make sure that this is the right thing that they got when they got signed.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like they're not gonna reply me back or anything, but just as I want to feel protected and I want to feel like this is serious because they ask it for a fee to
Yeah.
get signed.
No.
So I was like, this is off. It wasn't a big of a fee or anything. It was like $20 or something. But I felt not protected about it. And then I checked more research and everything. One of the artists, he was just signed and he sent me back and he said it's not that big and they're faking it, it's a spam, they don't ask for money. And he sent me a link of that major record label website, official website.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote it down that we never asked for a fee, and if someone did, report them and report the email and everything. I did the report and it was correct, so thank God I didn't fall for this.
And you know, that's the thing, whether it be, you know, this not only goes to music, it goes to writing or whatever. There was a contest that I had entered, or I was about to enter. The thing came up and was about writing a book, and the only thing that was required was a happily ever after. So I wrote a book. I got it all down, and I was getting ready to send it in, and I looked through the contract, and there was this clause in the contract, and this is legit. So it wasn't that it was a mock-up. It wasn't a spam or anything like that. This was a legit contest by a big publisher, and standard boilerplate in the contract. But I didn't want to go forward because it said if we don't take your story and we happen to publish a story very similar to your story, well, you can't sue us. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
So I called my friend who was actually traditionally published, and I said, is this in your contract? And she said no. And I mean, I may have shot myself in the foot because I decided at that point, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to run the risk. I'll keep my book. So for anybody that's listening to this that may be a musician or a writer or an actor, there's a couple of things to think about. If somebody's sitting there sending you an email saying we want to work with you, but you have to pay, and that includes the modeling industry, because I know you've also done some modeling. You know, if somebody's sitting there telling you have to pay to be signed with us, that's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
Yes.
Because they're going to make money off of you by taking a percentage of what you bring in. So don't fall for that, because they're just trying to scam you, and that can hurt you.
Exactly.
Also, you know, make sure that you vet these people. Make sure, because there's people that are looking to make money off of you, whether it's in marketing, publicity, anything of that nature. Make sure you're vetting people, and it'll save you money and aggravation and heartache, because you don't want to get your hopes up to have something come crashing down. You know, so. I back to what we were saying. I assume that everything, you know, as we're saying, this was better to have happened at this point in the game, because as your success grows, you're not going to want to. You're going to be a lot smarter now. So
exactly, like we learn from what happens to us, and we know what's right and what's not during the whole thing. And I'm sure that I'm still having a lot of things that I didn't learn until now, and I will learn in the couple next years.
Yeah, and the thing about learning is, and the industry, it's always changing. Exactly. Always changing. Yes. I mean, if I'll age myself, you couldn't download a song back when I was a teenager. You couldn't do that, you know, and now, you know, you had to wait to go to the record store to buy it. Now it's at your fingertips at midnight when it's, you know, so just just stick with the evolution and build your fan base. So I appreciate you taking the time, and I wish you great success. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Better 2 podcast. Your listenership is greatly appreciated. If you like what you hear, remember to hit subscribe. We also have our videos on YouTube. They're usually posted the same day as the podcast, and you should check it out. If you have a question or you would like to be a guest on the show, please drop me an email, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. The email is Dauna, Dauna, at thebetter2podcast.com. Thanks again for tuning in, and catch you next time.